All right, so I'm here with trainer Sean Smith, and you had a mixed bag of results at the Olive Centre in Durban. Obviously, Thabiso, Mchunu, and Tulani and Mbenge, your flagship fighters. One win, one loss. Just sum up your feelings in that moment.
It was an amazing evening. I think leading up to the event it wasn't easy. We had a lot of stuff to deal with, WBC requirements. So from that side, it was hard, like to align things up with the local promoter, with Mbele Promotions, and to tie that in. So it was quite stressful leading up to the event. But like I said, it was a hard night because it was momentous win from Tulani and Mbenge. And then on like the flip side, it was a little bit of a not the night you wanted for Thabiso. I thought it was the perfect fight, perfect opportunity for him to bounce back straight back into the WBC scene and get him relevant there. But it happens. I think it was a loss, split decision. I don't think it was a bad loss. I don't think it was harmful or like in any way physically, for Thabiso. But obviously your career couldn't really afford any slump in momentum, but this is what it is. You can come off your greatest win and go to your worst loss, and vice versa. So hopefully I'll speak to Thabiso. We'll sit around the table. I think he can still have a go at it. He was looking good in the gym, but like a lot of people say, gym time, sparring time, the fight time is a different dynamic, But I believe Thabiso's got the talent to probably step up and turn it around one more time.
So, looking at, let's focus on Thabiso first. I think Tools, obviously, he had a splendid performance. Thabiso, split decision. You had the Argentinian judge who obviously went in favor of the Argentinian, South African judge, and then the Ghanaian judge in the middle there that went for the Argentinian. What did you make of the scorecards and, of the fight itself?
Listen, it was a hard one to judge. After 4 rounds, we were draw, up 1, down 1. Then after 8 rounds, we were down 2, up 1, down 1. Down 2. But the Argentinian obviously had it lopsided, so I knew we couldn't get anything back there. It was too far gone. So I thought worst case, Thabiso has a good 9 and 10, we can sneak a draw. I thought he did enough for 9 and 10. I'm not sure how the viewers saw it. The Argentinian was there but not there. Thabiso was trying to fire. So tough fight, you know what I'm saying? Sounds ugly, but you either want to win well or lose bad. But sort of this in between, and people say local hometown decision. With the WBC, it's 100% neutral mostly. I've seen guys like with Mbenge when we went to France, the WBC judging. I could see after 4 rounds, I thought we were up on all 3, we were down on all 3. So, but they normally good, normally fair. Yeah. So, like it is what it is. The sport of boxing. I think a lot of sport is on the night. I think, but the Argentinian, it looked like there was a bit of a stalemate because the Argentinian was a 2-time Olympian, and he lost to the Russian, Tashenko, the gold medalist, on a controversial split decision. It's hard to beat a Russian or in like the games when like the federation heads up, Yeah. So he was a good fighter, talented fighter. Whether he can go much further, let's see. He's also got a bit of a counter-punching style. So I think it was a bit of a clashing style. But I was happy with the fight because I thought he wasn't a pressure fighter. And Thabiso coming off a 2-year layoff, I thought he would be able to outsmart win the fight. So it was a good fight, Wasn't going to go down to the battle of attrition. So I thought it was, and he was number 4, Thabiso was number 3. So, still, if to offer me the fight again, I would do it again. But, sometimes I don't really believe in ring rust. Because you see guys like Zhang who come off 2 of the biggest wins of their career and they can go into a slump. Sometimes you come off your best wins, you have to, performance goes down a little bit. But, at like the same time, Tulani was out the ring for a year, some would say, and he came out hot. He did everything well. I didn't expect him, we got offered the guy. I said, that's a good fight for Tools because he's going to come to fight. And, the guys you fight away, the Formellas he lost to, Chisoko lost to, as soon as the heat got on, they ran, which obviously like a away fighter, when you try like to chase the home fighter, can get difficult. But I didn't expect him to arrive like that.
Sure.
Yes, it was just, I must commend it. I've never seen that in my life. Like a guy getting beat and just like relentless. He didn't like for 1 second. He had a little slump in the fifth. But I thought they arrived on like the Tuesday. I thought just it's like, if either of them could get past 6 or 8 rounds, like they'll be doing well. But shows you like the Argentinians, some guys that they are hungry and they live the game.
Yeah, and I just want to just do one more question about Thabiso as well before I get to Tools. Is, as a manager of Thabiso, what do you envision next for him? What would you like to push for? I know you said the rematch you'd love to push for, but with Peralta going up the ratings, maybe not possible, maybe possible. What in an ideal world, is that the best thing that will come of this?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a rematch, but just depends who's going to pick it up. I think they would like to move on and see what their opportunity lies ahead of them. Like I always said, Thabiso was always highly rated, always on the radar, but everyone turned him down because they know how good he is and how awkward he can be. So, you know what, and I've seen it before, like happened, I think recently, like to Yves and Gabu. He had a loss and then he got an offer and then he bounced back to a great win. So I can also see that, sometimes you have a bad result, which is actually good. Thabiso leaves him in number 11, box ranking, guys like, hey, this guy's beatable. Let's call him. So luckily the rating's good. You never know, the luck might turn because people are like, I want to stay busy, want the points. So hopefully my phone will ring with a nice offer. That's how life works. So, you never know.
I've got some things running through my head now as you're busy talking about, opportunities and stuff. With Thabiso, I mean, would you entertain going for an defending the SA title against a guy like a Kani Puzi, and maybe an RBO? I mean, would you go that route and fight even Gabu? I mean, these are the options that are out there. They're local guys that are training in South Africa.
Definitely. You know what? I'm never scared to challenge yourself as a trainer and challenge your athlete. If you can't stand out or win on a local level, how are you going to do it on the big stage? Like the wins that everyone's like, oh, Thabiso, what Thabiso has done overseas, people can't do. You don't beat Denis Lebedev, former WBA world champion, 4 years in Russia, shut out. You don't beat Tishenko in Russia, literally 10 rounds to 2, if you're not good. So I know how good he is, but everyone forgets. As soon as you have a bad performance, people were saying that about Mbenge, Tulani Mbenge. People say their tools are not the same. I said, what? I said, what the fuck? I said, tools, you better wake up. Everyone is starting to forget about you. So it happened like to Chalker as well. You can step up when you want. It's not about age, it's about attitude. So if those local fights had to come on entertained, there was a promoter that would put it up, why not? You know what I'm saying? Get busy, step up. If you got the goods, show you got it. If you don't, then you can review. It's not the life or death of, it's just the sport, and you got to see at what level you can bounce back on, make a decision from there.
And you'd be confident that Thabiso beats both of those guys?
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't want to do it if I didn't think you should win. But that's sport. You got to gamble. You can't play safe where you think you're going to be the winner. That's the last thing you want to think in boxing. But you know what I'm saying? People need to be active. That works against you. So you can wait and wait and wait internationally. Either guy's got a good rating, so it's not going to do harm either way, like for any boxer. But you got to look at your situation. If you can't step up locally, like tools that put it on, turn up, then you're not doing it anyway. Then you're not going to do it anywhere anyway. So that sport, love to get involved, would embrace the challenge. But let's see. Like I said, internationally, Thabiso's number 11, which makes him a good opponent, viable opponent for anyone. So let's see. And obviously, we want to see what Thabiso wants to do. Most importantly, what his hunger and desire is, like to want to be like involved in boxing. That's the main thing.
All right. So we look forward to seeing what that move eventually is. Let's move over to Tulani Mbenge. Obviously, victorious, shutout, won on all the judges' scorecards quite clearly. He had a standout performance. A performance where Argentinian fighter Fonseca really came in and performed to a really good level. What is your move on Tools, and what was your opinion on the fight?
It was a good fight. It was actually very hard to watch because at any time in a fight like that, these guys are coming forward looking for any lapse in concentration, if they land you, he was there. So it was, like I said, like I could have chosen 8 round. Why not choose 10? But in hindsight, I'm happy that Tools showed that and like the world saw. I think like the WBC ratings committee were all watching the fight, and I saw on Dr. Peter Tani's WhatsApp, they just said, wow, what a fight. So I think Tools also needed that, like to prove that I am who I say I am. And he is who everyone be saying he was, the boxer of the year, the fight of the year. He backed it all up. And that's the main thing. And you know what? Sometimes this is the cruelest sport in the world. You have one bad outing and everyone's like, you're finished. Who says? It's a very, very harsh sport. So I think good for him to prove that, you know what, like I said, I am that guy. And I can go to that level and perform. At that level, the key is for us, that was good. But you need to look for more now. This is like the opportunity we need like to capitalize and look for the next step where you can level up, because he can do great things, but it'll be up to him if he wants to go to the next level or sit back and revel on that performance.
And as his manager, what do you see next? Or what would you like to do? Let's put it that way, if you could pick.
Obviously, I would like to be entertained on the platforms, the bigger platforms, the Matchroom, DAZN platform. There's a couple of Olympians out there. Shakram Giasov, he was a bronze or silver medalist. I've seen him. Chisoka, Shakram Giasov, he had a tough outing. I think Tulani can beat those big names. They've got a big audience, and that's who you want to beat. So for him to fight locally, there's no one. You've got to wait a year, 2 years for someone to step up, or whatever. So he needs to stay active. So I'll be trying to search for opportunities and spread the word that he's ready. There's welterweights out there. Some are sticking it together. Some are moving out the division. Crawford might be moving up. Belts become available. Opportunities become available. So it was an important win because he was a year out. So he's right back in the ratings, number 11. I think I saw, BoxRec. So Barrios would be a dream fighter, Mario Barrios. That would be a dream fight. You know what I'm saying? Because someone who comes to fight. So let's see. It's all about right place, right time. Like I said, when the stars align. But I think he needs to, I think Tulani needs to, that was good, but there's more. And that's the way you got to be in this game. You can't sit back and say that was good enough. I think Tulani, from like that performance, there's a few things that he did unbelievable, but I still see some things we can improve of. To go to the next level, to win on an international stage and become a world champion, a legit world champion at welterweight, that'll be a dream come true for us.
It's almost strange to imagine, even Thabiso and Tools, fighting in South Africa. But I know that they both needed it after a long period of time to get back on it. But they got 2 game opponents that were really international level. But do you see them boxing much here locally?
No, but the problem is, who's a local promoter? We don't have a local promoter. Anything over 100,000 rand, it's not available. So then it's like, I would like to box anyway. I don't care anyway. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's like the platform? Is it a TV audience? Can you get TV? But I think after this performance, people saw the Mbenge fight where people would want more of that. But it comes from a financial point of view. You need a promoter who's got money to entertain it. And that's the key. Is Tulani, guys are not getting younger. People want to move to an international level where they can make international money. We're not greedy. That's the last thing we are. You know what I'm saying? This fight, we had to make things just to get like the money to put the fight on. It's not about looking at money greed, but it's about the opportunity to show people like a Tools and Mbenge like that is a good fight. He can beat anyone at the welterweight division. And you know what? Off a year layoff to come out like that, if he's smart and he invests in himself and his career, it's actually scary to know what he could achieve in boxing.
Are you going to look to entertain some of those talks and reopen some of those talks from last year that fell through?
Yeah, of course. Listen, Tulani and Mbenge, with that, the rating he's got, sitting at number 11, promoters, champions, everyone are going to go through that list and go, there's an opponent. And how I've got them to that rating with no promoter, nobody can do that. You know, if you look at the top guys, the Eddie Hearns, they move their guys into position. They got millions, multi-million of dollars behind them to get their guys up the ratings, get their guys in that position. I've done that with no help. So we're very blessed and fortunate to be in that position. If you go into Matchroom, go into Boxer, their welterweights are way behind Tulani, and they got all the money in the world to promote the guys and keep them active and keep them busy. So we had to do this to keep Tulani busy. But now he's number 11. So someone needs an opponent, someone needs a dance partner. Tulani and Mbenge will be ready, and I'll be reaching out to all like the major networks and the major promoters and see if there's a gap to entertain. He's very entertaining.
All right, yeah, 100%. And obviously, come forward fighters, Tools and Mbenge, always going to be a good fight when you got two guys that want to engage in the fight. And you're going to get that if you're in the WBC ratings. A lot of the opponents are from America. They don't like to sit back. They like to come forward and get stuck in. Sean, I just wanted to say thank you for catching up with us in the interview as well.
One more thing is,
sure.
One more thing is that guys will appreciate in that fight. Tulani wasn't a one-dimensional fighter. He showed that he could fight close range, mid-range, and on the outside. So he showed different aspects to his game. Not that you just need to stand toe-to-toe. If you want me to be Ali, I can be an Ali for you. You know, if you want me to fight inside nice and tight, Marvin Hagler style, like you want to show me you're a dog, I can show you. No one's going to be a bigger dog than me, and if you want to be smart, I can be smart too. So I think that's like the biggest thing like we took from this win, was seeing the layers to Mbenge's game, not just a one-trick pony.
100%. The evolution in his game, Tulani Mbenge. Thank you very much again, Sean, for catching up with us. Anything lastly you just want to say?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Obviously, Blue Label for being behind us. Sizanani Plastics, One Plan Insurance, Johnny's Liquor. These are like the people who stay behind us. Scribanti Mining. These are like the people who back us in the year or 2 years that you don't have activity, that you're able to get in the gym, you're able to look after like your boxers and your team. So these are also like the superstars that you also need to say, you know, we appreciate you, what you do, and for supporting Smiths and supporting the sport of boxing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you very much.